Hey, my people, my people, my people. How you doing? Once again, I come to you. I want to share a word with you. Today, I want to look at favor with God, or you want to say God's favor. So, what am I talking about? I want to talk about God's unmerited favor. I was looking back at, my life, I was looking back at my age the other day. I was thinking how old I am, or how young people would say how young I am. And that made me think about how blessed I am. It made me think about how the favor of God is upon my life. It made me realize that I am so blessed. I've been given another day, another month, another year. Do I deserve it? No. But I thank God that He has given it. And the same way, you can look into your lives also, and you can be thankful for this unmerited favor that God has given to us. So, the Bible does talk about God's unmerited favor. So, what is the unmerited favor of God? Grace is the unmerited favor of God. His undeserved kindness that He shows through His resurrection of Jesus Christ for the sins of the world. So we were handed down this unmerited favor through His death, His burial, and His resurrection. And it's not because we deserve it, but because God has a plan for each of us, and He created people like you and I to serve Him. Therefore, He, favored us. The Bible speaks about a number of people who found favor with God. And we think about it, we know Esther was one of them people. Joseph was one of those persons. Moses was one of those. So there are a number of people that found favor with God. And, others were looking at it, thought, this person is not blessed. This person is, not favored by God. But God has a way of showing us, His unmerited favor in so many different ways. The favor that I find with God may not necessarily be the same one that you find with God, right? So how can you earn this favor? How can you find this favor with God? First, we got to be honest with ourselves, be honest with God. We've got to be we have to submit ourselves to God. We have to be humble. We have to be honest. We have to be faithful. We have to surrender our lives with God. We have to walk according to God's precept. His word is, that which He has laid out for us, the plans which He has for our lives. So we can find favor with God when we surrender all to Him and be faithful, be humble, and God will use us. What is grace? What is favor? We look at it, we can look at the word gracious, which actually means to grant favor. So God has granted us favor through His grace. When we look at Ephesians 2 verse 8, it tells us, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, but it's a gift of God." So grace is favor. And we thank God for this favor, because had it not been for the favor which He has upon us, then a lot of us would not have been here today. We look around, we see some of our friends, they have passed on, but here we are. We are still alive, we're still well. Yes, some of us maybe feel a little pain here and there, which we think is unbearable. But God is not giving us more than we can take, more than we can manage. He knows what we are able to bear, what we're able to cope with. And therefore, He's with us. Esther We know the story of Esther. Esther found favor with the king. There were so many other women that the king could have chosen, but Esther found favor with the king. And she not only found favor with the king, but she was made queen. You know, she was chosen over all the other women. So Esther was one of those who was, she found favor with the king, but God also favored her. God placed her in a position wherein that she became queen, and she was able to accomplish that which she did. Moses was one of those other persons who found favor with God. Moses found favor in the sight of God. If we look back in the story, remember Moses, was going through the wilderness experience. He was traveling and he was taking the people, and the story and what happened. But Moses also found favor with God. So I just want to encourage you today to trust God in whatever situation that you're going through. Let us remember that, God has chosen us. He has placed us in a position where we are in so that we can, let our light so shine before men that others can see His glory, His goodness, and come to know Him. So whatever you can do to encourage someone along the way, whatever you can do to help someone along the way, do it. Let us, pay forward. Let us love each other. Let us work with each other. So many things are happening, and when you look into Revelation, we know that a lot of things are gonna happen further, because we are living the Revelation days where the scriptures are being fulfilled. The end time is upon us. Where are we? What are we doing? Are we walking according to the words of God? Let us examine ourselves so that we too can find favor with God and in the sight of God, so that He can use us, to minister to others, to bring salvation to others. The writer said, it is so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take Him at His word, just to rest upon His promise, just to trust Him. Trust and obey, because God will see you through. God has granted you favor so many times, in so many different ways. You might be wondering, I don't see that favor. I've never experienced that favor. I will tell you, just to be alive is God granting you that favor. God allowing you to see another day. You can wake up. Somebody doesn't have to turn you. You are so blessed. You're so privileged to be able to get up out of your bed, walk around, do whatever you want to do. Sometimes we even forget about God, who, gave us that energy, that life to get up out of our bed. We forget. We get so busy with the things of life and we forget God. But through your busyness, remember who has given you that grace, who has given you that favor, who has allowed you to be able to move about, to do the things that you're doing. So don't forget God. The first thing that we need to do is to thank God for this day. Thank Him for the opportunity to see yet another day, because He has given you favor. He has granted you another time, another day when you can get up. So let us not forget to call upon God. Trust God. You see, we will realize that a lot of things will happen throughout the day or through your life. People will hurt you, people will leave you, all sort of things will happen. But let us remember to trust God and forget about those things. I said last week, let us not carry around the hate and the malice and the stress of life and stuff. Let us let it go, because all those things will not be important at the end of this road, at the end of this journey that we're traveling on. What is important is that we submit and surrender ourselves and our lives to God and allow God to use us so that we too can reach out to others. There's so many people that are there, they have not yet known Christ. but let us, say a word to them. Let us, minister to somebody as we go along. Say something kind, do something nice, and allow God to work through our lives. God bless you. Have a great night, a great evening. And remember, you too can gain the favor of God by humbling yourself, submitting yourself, and surrendering all to Jesus. Peace. Love you.